Welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. Earlier this month, I was honored to support my friend and CHEK colleague as he received the prestigious Broadcast Performer of Tomorrow Award from the BC Association of Broadcasters. And he's not just a broadcaster, he's a multimedia journalist, a filmmaker, an actor. You've seen him on CHEK News, and you better be tuning into his local vodcast, Our Native Land, which was recognized as Amazon Music Canada's Best Podcasts of the Year. Beaming into this studio from his studio space at CHEK's headquarters, he is Tchadas Leo.
Tchadas, hey Mo, nice to see you.
Tchadas, so nice to see you. This is the crossover that CHEK Nation has been waiting for. So thanks so much for beaming in tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been so waiting for this moment to have a chat, to cross over and talk to you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Of course, the honor's all mine. Now, like me, you really got into broadcasting a little later in life. And I can tell you that I picked up the podcast mic after identifying what I believe to be a gap in the BC media space. So did you see a gap when you started Our Native Land?
You know, I did see a little bit of gap in the sense that there is Indigenous programming out there, but sometimes it's touch and go. I didn't see this consistency, at least in my area or what I like to watch, where it's a consistent thing that's happening every single week or every single month. And I wanted to find a way, how can we take something that's so important, such as Indigenous topics that we talk about, culture, language, food, etc., and put it on a platform where it's consistent, we're doing something all the time, we're asking different people different questions, and keeping the variety. And that's what I think we've really accomplished, is I want the listeners and the viewers to really be convinced that I'm interested. I want to know what this person has to say. And then it comes across on the screen, because if I'm not interested, I don't think the listener and the viewers will be interested either. So I think that gap change is what we really wanted to do. And I'm hoping that we've at least started to accomplish that for sure.
You definitely have. And I think that's one of my philosophies as well, is that I have to be very interested and passionate about the guest or about the topic as well. So that's so cool that you see it the same way. Now, representation is obviously very important. I try to bring the experience of growing up as an immigrant, which is often embedded in my work here. Tell me about your lived experience and ultimately what you hope to achieve in this space as an Indigenous creator and as a person of color.
Absolutely. I want to be able to create this space for others. And that's one of the biggest goals, is creating that platform to raise other people's voices, and facilitating that through what we do and what you do in the studio, I think is vital. You know, as much as, there's so many shows out there that focus on Indigenous content, I think I really want to keep localizing it, make it important to Vancouver Island, the mainland, BC, and Western Canada to really tune in and focus on topics that I think matter to them. And sometimes they're really important, really focusing on politics. Sometimes it's a little more casual. Sometimes it's food. But no matter what it is, I want it to be meaningful, powerful, and entertaining. And like I said, I think we're getting there. I think we're doing it. And I'm really proud of the work we've been doing here.
Absolutely. And now, you've sacrificed quite a bit to get to this point. I'm not sure if the viewers are fully aware, but you actually did end up taking time away from your family to be able to do this. So can you quickly, we have about a minute left, can you quickly touch on that?
Absolutely. It was a big challenge. Like a lot of people, when COVID hit, we started to reanalyze what we want to do with our life. And so I remember sitting down with my wife, and she's like, what was the one thing that you did that didn't feel like a day of work? And I remember working in community television as a young lad and deciding that didn't feel like a day of work. And I wanted to get back into it. I wanted to fill that gap of Indigenous reporters and storytelling that we need more of. So off I went to BCIT, which is in Burnaby. I live in Ladysmith, British Columbia. So that commute took a lot out of my family, my friends, staff were here to support me. But it's thanks to all of those people that I was able to make that decision that hopefully has worked out well, which it looks like it has so far. And I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that CHEK and everybody around me has had. So that sacrifice was a lot, but I knew it was the right thing to do. Again, with the support of my wife, especially taking care. Actually, my wife was pregnant when I told her I was going to go to school. And, here we are 3 years later, or almost 4 years now since Our Native Land, and 2 years after BCIT. And I'm just so happy and grateful for all the opportunities so far.
It's definitely paid off. Tchadas, again, congratulations on all the accolades you're picking up. I'm proud to call you a colleague and a friend. So keep up the great work, my man.
Thank you so much, my friend. It was a pleasure to be here.
Folks, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Steve Soretsky, Sean Farquhar at Hidden Wonders, and my award-winning colleague here at CHEK, Tchadas Leo, for tonight's show. Be sure to find Our Native Land on CHEK Plus's app and wherever you listen to your podcast to catch up on his show. Also, shout out to CHEK General Manager Rob Germain for cultivating talents like Tchadas and like myself. As always, shoot me an email with your thoughts, mo@thisisvancolour.com. Also, follow me on X or TikTok at VANCOLOUR. We will be back next week with BC Conservative leader John Rustad. But for now, this is VANCOLOUR, and I'm Mo Amir, telling you that in a province where you can be anything, be colorful. Peace.